Is there ever any justification for someone to have an affair even if they're bored in their marriage?
I don't know if the right word is justification, but I can absolutely understand it. I think there are a lot of marriages that just go dull for lots of different reasons. Stress and overwork and bringing up families and one partner not understanding the other. And I think a lot of relationships get into that dull phase.
Yeah.
And then if something happens, like it did in that serial last night,
Yeah.
where that little bolt of electricity suddenly reminds you that you're a woman,
Yeah.
and maybe does the same, you know, for a man, reminds him that he is a sexual person, then I can understand the knee trembler in the broom cupboard. But it's not right, and I think most of us would hold back, or at least most women would hold back and think, no, I don't want to jeopardise everything I love. But I can understand it.
It's interesting that you say most women would hold back. There's, in the papers today, obviously, all the editorials are running with this, and opinions are very divided, with some journalists saying, absolutely not, that's a load of old bunkum, and that would never happen, and other women in their 50s
I think that
saying...
would happen. I absolutely think that would happen. That's a woman, as you said, she's in a sensible marriage.
Yeah.
For that you can read, it's seen better days.
Yeah.
Not that it can't be revived if the both people actually sort of recognise that. I think marriages can be revived. But I can understand. Then suddenly she meets this man who just gives her the zing.
Do you think people are more forgiving if it's a woman that... Because, again, the papers today, some women are saying, she's found her sexual spark and isn't it incredible? Yeah, if a man does it, it's seen as tawdry and awful, and how can he do that? Are we being unfair on the sexes?
I don't know. I mean, I think... Well, I know women particularly overthink things. So in that situation, I would be thinking, you know, yes, I find you attractive, but I don't know who you are, might get a disease, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Repercussions on the rest of my life, etc., etc. But I get that women have affairs, but I think women have affairs when they're bored in their marriage or feeling unloved. They have an affair with someone that they might meet at work, who they get to know gradually, and they sort of fall in love with them and they show them a bit of attention. But I don't think it rings very true that a 50-something woman just on a day out somewhere meets a guy and just goes, oh yeah, into the toilets, let's have a quick...
That.
Oh no,
I think it's completely understandable. She said, worried now about what that means.
I don't think it's acceptable or understandable, really. To me, it's just weird. But I could only ever really get naked if I knew the person. So I couldn't walk into a room and be like, oh, you're attractive. I mean, I do that a lot. I'm like, oh, he's attractive. But then I couldn't imagine, like, oh, let's just go and have sex. Do you know what I mean? That's a lot.
With someone you don't know at all.
So I get what you're saying.
It's almost like sexual fantasy territory, I suppose. That's what they're sort of saying, is it's playing out your sexual fantasies of sex with a stranger. I don't know if people have a fantasy about that, but the actual reality of it, not for me.
Well, if you read, I read the book. I'm kind of saving the series because I'm going to sort of bulk watch it all in one go. And if you read the book, she didn't set out to do this, but there's something niggling in the back of her mind. Like you say, there's something slightly wrong with her marriage, and the opportunity presented itself, and she just went, yep, and grabbed it. And I think, you know, you're talking about sexual fantasies. I think there are a lot of people who maybe in their head might think that sounds like an amazing idea, but would they actually follow through?
The difference is whether you come out of the broom cupboard feeling ashamed
Yes.
or feeling, oh my God, there's a spark that's been lit in me again. I'm a woman again. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, go down the gym, I say. Survey that we've done. So we did ask, one of the sections we asked was, would you reveal your sexual fantasies to your partner? Now, yes, 58%. No, 18%. So that's almost 1 in 5 wouldn't reveal their sexual fantasies. I must say, I'd be in that category. I kind of think, isn't a sexual fantasy something that happens inside your head? So, like, the minute you talk about it and let it out there, it's a reality. I don't know.
I couldn't talk about fantasies because I don't... My fantasy is to be with the person I'm with. You know, it takes me a really long time
to... Is it really, though? Are you being honest?
No, it really is. I'm so prude, and it took me a really long time to actually get to that stage in my relationship. And for me, I don't mind talking about and discussing through what we like, but I wouldn't be like, oh, can you just dress up and come for. I mean, each to their own.
I just want to throw this in because it amuses me. So we asked also about, you know, what is your ultimate sexual fantasy? And outside of the whole, you know, 50 Shades of Grey stuff inside the bedroom, we talk about outside the bedroom. The most popular was on a beach. Sand everywhere, no thanks. Mile High Club, inside a confession box. That's serious. On a dentist's chair.
Oh my God, that would be horrendous.
I hate going to the dentist.
If you thought that got heated, wait until you watch these and click here to subscribe. You may as well. It's totally free.